our region's business, improving our economy, creating jobs, and strengthening communities. Innovation, collaboration, transformation, and the people making it happen. Join us as we take a closer look at our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, we're getting ready for the big game. We'll find out about cutting-edge science in our region that's helping to protect athletes from concussions, plus food and drink, perfect for football. We'll meet the brew gentleman, satisfying a love for beer and helping to revitalize a steel town at the same time. And a fourth-generation food distributor who's putting sour cream for dips and chips on tables across our region. But first, our region on the cutting edge of concussion research. Allegheny Health Network has been testing a homegrown technology to make it easier to diagnose concussions even on the field of play. Researchers used a technology that tracks minute eye movements created by Pittsburgh-based Neuro Kinetics to test more than 200 student athletes for concussions. And the finding of the study is that the technology does make a difference. Howison Schroeder is back with us. He's president and CEO of Neuro Kinetics. And Dr. Edward Snell is director of primary sports medicine at Allegheny Health Network, a unit of Heinrich Health, which is a sponsor of this program. Good to have you both here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's been a while. We had you down here a number of years ago talking about earlier stages of this technology, right?
Takes a long time to become an overnight success, Bill.
Yeah, I guess so. So for folks who obviously do Neurokinetics, the company has been around for a long time, but this particular application is a lot newer. What exactly it is you guys are doing?
Even way back when, we were looking at eye movements and providing a test paradigm and stimulus. But when I got there, back when we were talking, we really didn't have much in the technology of eye movements. Digital technologies changed that game dramatically, and now we've been able to integrate that digital eye tracking with a head-mounted or virtual reality type technology, which makes a portable system. It's also an immersive system, so when you run these tests, the mind has to do these exercises, and the data resolution that we've gotten is really quite exceptional. And even an earlier version of that technology in which we did this study, the separation was exceptional between what we were diagnosing, AGH folks were diagnosing as concussions, and what we were able to compare to the controls.
Wow, and so the study recently published for the work you had done looking at this. What is it about rapid eye movement or minute eye movements and concussions? Why is that a thing?
Well, it's really important because the central nervous system has cranial nerves, and those cranial nerves control the vestibulo-ocular reflex, which is how your eyes work and allow you to do the things we do in space. And those nerves pierce just about every lobe of your brain. So when you have a concussion, it may affect one part or one lobe of your brain. This vestibulo-ocular reflex can be picked up in almost all concussions. So this is something that's very unique. It's very important. It's a very important technology, and I think it's going to help us have a more objective view of who's concussed, how badly they're concussed, and when they really get better and when it's safe to get them back on the field.
How do you do this now? Without the technology, somebody walks into their doctor's office, they think they've had a concussion, maybe they don't even think they've had a concussion.
Well, you put things together. In medicine, nothing's perfectly science in medicine. There's a science to it, and there's also an art to it. And so you got to listen to what your patient says. You have to understand the situation, and then you have to put everything together with a physical exam and an evaluation of what you can do from a physical standpoint for that patient, and put all that together and see if you think a concussion has occurred, and then follow it. And we follow it with basically subjective tools now. We follow with symptoms, so people have symptom scores that we follow for a period of time. Neuroimaging is very, very difficult to pick up anything because it's at the microscopic level. So these injuries are really down deep and we can't see them in a neuroimaging, but we can test things that the body should be able to do, and this is one of those technologies that's important to be able to test that reflex that really is affected a lot by most of, if not all, concussions.
So this is where you've gotten the technology to now. This is getting more and more portable, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's this with a laptop.
Okay.
That's really all you need.
And you're putting it on like a virtual reality
device. Like a virtual reality system, and we'll track the eyes so it goes in the head. Whoops, I'm stepping on the cable there. So this is, and inside with this little gasket, it's a totally dark environment. Here we are with all these bright lights. You give me a display, wow, that's all I can see is that little stimulus dot that we would project in there.
And you would be able to then monitor how effectively they can follow and how effectively the eyes
Correct.
Right.
And this, the price point here is decidedly less. So if you remember, we were talking about the big chair that we still make and people still buy, but that's $150,000 plus minus dollars. This is now down roughly around 20, and we're working on even getting it lower in price.
So this now becomes something that's affordable to put virtually on, not even just in the doctor's office, but out on the field.
We think we can. We think we can get to the price point in the next iteration where it can sit in high schools and they can actually watch their kids and watch them closely and carefully and make sure they make right, real-time decisions about what to do.
Well, and that seems to be, I guess, the discovery or the revelation in recent years. I mean, it used to be almost a joke. Some kid got his bell rung, right, in a hard hit. But the impact of concussion, it's cumulative. Those little hits add up, I mean, right?
Well, yeah, the hits add up, but we're trying to see what the long-term ramifications are of these hits. And certainly, to begin with, we saw about 50 or 60 of the ex-NFL players, and a lot of them had a lot of issues. So understanding that whether they've had the concussion and when would be a safe time to let them go back and play, that's something that we're all struggling with. We don't have a clinical pathway for concussion. We're trying to develop one. This is part of the technology we're trying to develop. If we put things together, we'll be better at it in the future. Sort of like heart attacks and evaluating hearts when in the 1920s is light years ahead in the 1990s into now the 2010s into the 2020s. We're going to be able to save a lot of people. This will be able to save a lot of brains and maybe make them more useful and more appropriate and better people when they get into their 60s or 70s or 80s, be able to function a lot higher levels if we're better about following their concussions.
Wow.
One of the things that's interesting here too, I mean, we talks about getting better. All the tests, yes, it's like if I'm going to go run a sprint. Well, I'm going to get timed on that sprint to see if I'm going to make the team or not. But if I go keep sprinting, I'm going to get better at it. So these tests not only tell us where the subject is with their neurofunctional performance, but it also, if you use them as exercises, people are using them now, they can get better.
Wow. Exciting stuff. The company's called Neuro, Kinetics. Howison, Schroeder, Dr. Edward Snell from AHN. Congratulations. Great to see this kind of work happening right here in our region.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Appreciate it. And next up, just in time for the big game, an award-winning beer from Braddock. We'll meet the brew gentleman who made it when our Region's Business Report. Please stay with us.